Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with 13-0. Richard Torrez Jr. makes his ring return November 15th against Thomas Selleck in Mexico. I was hoping, I don't know if the do-rag is hiding the braids or whatnot,
Oh, you want
but
to see the braids?
you don't have to undo it. I would just
Nah, I gotta show 'em real quick. Oh, let me see. Hold on.
this is like a debut real quick because
Yeah,
oh
you
wow.
see that? That's wild,
What made you do this? I mean, I saw you
huh?
speaking Spanish. Now you got braids. Is it the whole
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
in Mexico?
I mean, I want to say it plays a part in it, but no, the braids are just because my hair's getting longer, and
Mm,
and I kind of want to see how long my hair can get, and so in order to not cut it because of getting my eyes, I'm gonna see if I braid it back. And I had a lot of support from the guys on the Team USA right now, telling me where to go to, give me the braiders, showing me how to do the do rag and everything like that. So it's been working well. But yeah, it's a fun time, man. And I think they might be here to stay for a little bit until the fight at least.
yeah, no, I respect it. I mean, I was gonna ask, like, do you feel different? Because everyone kind of have had you had a certain look, right? This might be phase two, but everyone was accustomed to the mustache, the hair, but outside of that, I mean, did it, I guess, change a little bit of how you felt as a fighter?
I mean, I do think it kind of like you fight with how you look sometimes, you
Hmm.
look good, you fight good. And I feel like sometimes the braids kind of bring a fight essence with them as well.
Hmm.
But I'm still me, man. I'm still gonna
Hmm.
fight like Richard. I'm still gonna be that guy that's me in your face the entire night. I think it was a little funnier when I had the big afro and I was the guy like coming out and throwing really hard and nonstop punches. But I think I might look a little more the part now.
Hmm. It's very fitting because, your last opponent, very credible Guido, just went out and demolished a guy recently, and that obviously adds credibility to your resume. What have you learned from that fight? Because in hindsight, everyone always knew that was a big step up fight, but it's aging really well, and I think a lot of people was going back to that win after that night going, yeah, we probably have the next great American boxer on the way if he's performing like he is.
I really appreciate Guido for that actually, because you see some of these guys that like after they take a loss or something, they'll kind of fall off a little bit. Not Guido, man. He's still true to himself. He has that really like strong mindset of where he wants to be and who he is as a fighter, and I commend him for it, and I thank him because I agree. Everyone after that fight is kind of like, oh, Guido was never that good. Guido was this. Guido was that. But after what he did this last recently, it did shine a light on who I was as a fighter as well. And so I've never talked bad about Guido, man. I always thought he was a good fighter, and I'm gonna still say that too. I don't really talk bad about any of my fighters or my competition, but man, thank you, Guido, for that one. I really have to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think real boxing pundits know like I said earlier, like when you step into that fight, that was definitely showing, what you were capable of doing. So, I know that you're coming back at November 15th against Thomas Selleck. I mean, what have you learned from that previous fight going into this fight, and what do you think about your opponent?
I think one thing I've really learned about this fight is like I gotta stop worrying about what other people say about my opponent, man. And I just
Mhm.
gotta get in there because at the end of the day, it's just me and him in the ring. Everyone could be like, "Oh, this guy's no good," or "Oh, this guy's so good, it's insane." I think when I was fighting Guido, it kind of made me. I remember being in the fight, and the first time he threw a backhand at me, I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, it's like I'm still quick. I'm still pretty fast for the heavyweight division," and so it's like almost like I needed to because he's a good fighter, but I put him on this. I put Guido way up here, man. This is Guido. He's a top 10 guy. He's a huge person, but it made me understand like, oh no, I'm supposed to be here as well,
Mhm.
and I think that's what I'm gonna go into this next fight as well with people saying, oh, this guy's he's ranked low. He does this, he does that. He's still a fighter, man, and he's still a heavyweight. He has punch, he has power. So I'm not gonna underlook him at all, and I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna show why I'm still supposed to be up here.
Do you look at that last fight kind of like a blessing? Because I know that some people will always critique, regardless of whatever the case is. But for whatever you were going through that fight, good or bad, do you kind of look at it hindsight now like that was, instrumental, outside of just getting the W?
I I look at that fight like a good win.
Hmm.
I look at that fight like I was able to showcase a little bit of who I was. I really wish I was able to do a little more in that fight as well. But I I I I think that was a great showcase for
Hmm.
the type of boxer that I have in myself, and I could show the public later on as well. I'm not necessarily sure if I think of it as like a blessing too much because again, I feel like I'm supposed to be here. I feel like
Hmm.
I was supposed to showcase my abilities, and that's just kind of like the nature of the game. Um, but I'm thankful for the opportunity, 1,000%, being top rank, being able to give us that fight. Because I do think that kind of put me on notice at least.
Hmm. Absolutely. And there's this fight not looking past. This is something I think they've done to all great up and coming fighters. They kind of find their contemporaries and kind of match and kind of see. I'm sure you've got this a million times, probably the most generic question, but two southpaws. They got a guy out in the UK, Moses. I mean, it is probably on paper the most dynamic fight to make, when you guys reach to that stage. I mean, I just wanted to get your thoughts on how that goes.
I want that fight. I really do. I want that Moses Itauma fight. I think that would be a great fight, great opportunity. We have two young heavyweights that are both kind of searching and eager to take that spot. And what better way to do it than get in the ring and show who's best? I think that would be a great staple, a great showcase to show who really is ready for that opportunity and that platform. And I'm ready, man. And I don't think Moses one type is the type of guy to duck opponents either. I think he'd be ready too. I think it's more of the management side of things on who kind of lets their dogs loose. But man, I'd be more than willing and excited to take that fight.
Not taking an air of heavyweights and criticizing, but just style wise, there's big guys, technical big guys. They're using their height and reach. But when I see you and Moses, it's like the nimble, the quickness, the agile, the work activity combinations. I mean, a little bit like the 90s, right? They call that one of
Mm.
the, so, I mean, do you feel that that type of fight would produce kind of like a legendary like 90s fight that people always talk about?
Oh, I definitely think so. I think that with two willing and able guys like that, and it's not. I think the difference too is like this would be a great showcase of like a 90s fight of just the young guys wanting to fight each other.
Hmm.
Like it's not two people waiting and ducking until we're like 6 years old in order to make a fight happen. Like I feel like he and I will both take that fight next week. And I think that mindset is just something that is good for boxing again. It's not someone that is trying to pad the record and like that. No, we want to make these fights happen, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think that a fight like that could happen pretty soon.
Hmm. Just switching from like the boxing aspect, I think you did a TED Talk, I
Oh,
think,
I
and
did. Yeah, yeah.
just I know that you're very inspiring to a lot of people. You take the time to go overseas to help the youth, but what was having your own TED Talk? Like, what is that? I mean, whole entire experience. You got the medal, you're professional, undefeated, but is that a different type of accomplishment to be able to do something like that?
Yeah, it was kind of surreal. It kind of was surreal because it was when I would take like speaking classes and stuff like that, they would say, "Hey, go look at a TED Talk," and then that's how you should kind of create your speech off of it. And I couldn't really. I was making my own TED Talk, so it was a little different. And just being there, and it was a TEDx, so it was kind of like a community event style TED Talk. And just being around the other really like influential people in the community. There were farmers, there were moms, there were teachers, there was like a Miss America on there too, like a runner up for Miss California, and it was just incredible to be in kind of the presence and hearing everybody else's word, um, and just kind of speak and it was all people in different facets of life, different areas and different careers that made it in a small town like mine, and it was really inspirational to just be a part of that. And it's really weird, man, because you'll see something like that, like someone that has like a doctorate in like in degree and is like changing the game in farming, and then it's me who punches people for a living, you know? And
Hmm.
it's like that's where you kind of get that imposter syndrome again, you know, where it's like, man, am I really supposed to be doing this right here? You know, like
Hmm.
I like I'm I just I just work hard, you know, I just train hard. But it's really just an honor to be recognized in the community that I grew up in as an influential person, and I'm gonna keep doing everything I can to make that a reality in my eyes as well.
I think Keyshawn recently just had something like that too. And so like it's kind of crazy that all you guys now are at a stage where you're speaking out
Right.
to the youth. And I'm sure you go back and look at these older pictures of all you guys together and everything.
Uh-huh.
Um, how everyone's career is panning out in hindsight. Is it what you've thought, essentially at this point your guys' career would be?
I think it is. I think we're kind of following suit, and that's the cool thing. It's like everyone's like, oh, like everyone has a game plan, but it never works out. It's like, well, some of us, our game plans were working out, you know, like Keyshawn, mine, Tiger, Choi, Duke, a lot of the Olympians, like not everyone, like everyone's dream in amateurs is go to the Olympics, right? Almost like I'd say 90% of people's dreams is to go to the Olympics. And then from there, either dreams don't pan out, then you turn pro or something like that. But sometimes the goal follows through, and we were able to follow through with that goal. And now the pro goal is kind of like continuing process. I'm really thankful to be able to see on that path and to be able to be disciplined. And I think one of the things that allowed me to do that is having the environment around me that I do. You know, the people like the Jamar Tallies and the Dariuses, the Shoes, all these guys that are still working hard and driving for success, like be having them like just around me and talking to them, it really helps me push forward and just stay on my path as well.
Awesome. Well, look, Richard, as demolishing that you are in the ring, it's always nice to pick at some of the stuff that's going on in your life, and but at the end of the day, the fans know when they watch November 15th out in Mexico, which is a crazy card. There's a lot of talent. I mean, Espinoza is just as probably as tall as you, defending
Yeah,
his title, and he's fighting Arnold Kagai and a lot of great Emiliano. So for the fight fans that's watching this, that'll be tuning in watching your fight against Thomas Salek. What do you want to tell them right before I let you go?
I want you guys to know that the you guys want to understand and see what that Mexican style has to offer. Watch this entire card, man, because it's full of a ton of Mexican fighters, Mexican style fighters that are gonna really be in there, and I guarantee there's gonna be a lot of knockouts that night.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're gonna have the Mexican flag because I don't want no one to think you're Bad Bunny. Go ahead. I'm sure you got that.
Yeah, I
So
got half Bad Bunny, half Drake, so I'm gonna need to make that happen.
awesome. Really appreciate the time.
Always my pleasure.